Hi there again. We are now ready to tackle our next set of assignments. You are going to return to the discussion forum where you posted your Frederick Douglass paper, How Frederick Douglass Learned to Read and Write, that 500-word paper that you wrote. You're going to return to that discussion forum, and you're going to skim through all of the papers, and you're going to locate 3 papers that you are going to read carefully and provide some feedback to the writer of those papers. Easy enough. I do want you to choose 3 papers that have the fewest number of comments. Maybe you're early into the discussion forum and no one has made any comments on papers, and you see a paper that doesn't have any comments. Well, that's the one you choose. Choose papers first that don't have any comments. And if they all have at least, 1 or 2 comments, then choose the paper that has the fewest number of comments. It's really that simple. We do that sometimes. We have done that already. In your homework announcement, I have given you a list of 5 areas I want you to make comments about with regard to each of the 3 papers. First, you're going to comment about the MLA format. Now, here, it's really not possible. You probably won't find anyone who is able to copy and paste their paper into the HTML box and achieve an MLA format, so that's okay. But there should be a heading that should follow the MLA rules for the heading with your name, my name, the class and section, and the date written MLA style, so that's important. Then you skip a line and there's a title, and you skip another line and you begin your first paragraph. Now, paragraphing in an HTML box is not happening, so I wouldn't worry about it. But in that case, you should leave 1 line space between each paragraph. And you can single space the paragraphs here. So notice we're sort of doing a modified MLA format here. So the only MLA comments you can make is maybe on the heading and maybe the title. That's about it. So that's the first thing you're going to look at. And then you're going to look at actually the title. And I'm telling you on the announcement how I want you to evaluate the title. I'm not going to go into that right now. And after you evaluate the title, to maybe give some advice on whether your classmate could improve the title in some way, I'm asking about the paragraphing. So you want to check out the paragraphing. And then the 4th thing that you're going to check out is the content in each paragraph. And does each of the paragraphs provide the content that I have given in the scaffold? This is very important. Each paragraph should have the content given. A little bit about introductions. An introduction, of course, introduces. It should not really have content here that is going to come later. So make sure that you're not repeating the content in the body of your paper because you put it in the introduction, or vice versa. Don't have content in the paper that you're going to write later. I hope that's clear. And then finally, I've been sort of yammering at some of you about fragments and run-on sentences. Now, I'm going to give you some activities soon about how to identify fragments and run-ons and how to fix them. But this time around, I want you to look at your classmates' papers, look at each of the sentences, and if you find a fragment or a run-on or what you think is a fragment or a run-on, you can point that out in your comment. You can say, the 3rd sentence of the 5th paragraph seems to be a fragment. or the fourth sentence of the second paragraph seems to be a run-on, something like that. You can do that. So these are the kinds of comments that you're going to make for your classmate. And then your classmates are going to come back in here and review the comments. And use these comments, plus mine. I'm going to be checking them out as well. And I'll probably send in our tutor attached to the class to look at it as well. Or maybe not really a tutor because he's not going to work with you. He's my assistant who also takes a look at your papers. His name is Brian. Maybe I'll ask him to post his photograph so you can see who he is and write a little profile. But he's basically working with me and making some comments on your work. So once you have made comments on your classmates' papers, you are then going to copy and paste those comments, because you're going to write the comments in the HTML box. And then you're going to copy and paste those comments onto a Word document that's MLA formatted. And then you're going to upload that Word document with the 3 comments to the course website, where I'm going to read the comments and give you points for having made these comments. You're going to get 10 points for each comment. How long should each of the comments be? Well, it's kind of up to you. I'm not going to really put a limit, but there are 5 basic kinds of comments you're going to make. I don't want you just to put comments for the sake of making comments. I want you to give some valuable help to your classmate to the best of your ability. I know we all have different abilities, but read the papers carefully and look at the kinds of comments I want you to make and do the best you can. I think we can all be helpful. Now, those of you receiving the comments, your classmates are trying very hard to help you. Welcome them in your mind. Don't be super critical. You don't have to agree with the comments your classmates make. You don't necessarily have to follow them. But if your classmate is making some kind of comment, I think probably you should look at your paper with the desire to make some kind of improvement in that area, okay? All right, so those are the 2 things that you're going to be doing. There is a third thing. We're going to watch a film. I'm going to give you 2 days to view the film titled Malcolm X by Spike Lee. So you can start the film tomorrow and continue with the film on the next day. So you have 2 days to view the film Malcolm X. The reason I'm giving you 2 days is because it's a long film, like 3 hours, but it's excellent, it's outstanding. Spike Lee is a fantastic filmmaker, and he's made some wonderful films, and this was really a great one. It was made back, I think, in 1992. Some of you may have seen it already. That's okay. Watch it again, because this film is going to be the basis of our next graded paper. We're going to be writing a film review of the Malcolm X film. I call them films rather than movies. Movies are like Captain America or the Endgame, Marvel Endgame or whatever that was. Those are movies. Films are a little bit more elevated for the intelligentsia, of which you are now a part of. So at the announcements page, I've given you the trailer for this film. Watch the trailer and then organize the viewing of the film. You can find the film at YouTube for $3.99, Amazon for $3.99, not Netflix, or if you don't want to pay for it, you can go to the public library and rent it and take it home and watch it on a DVD player, if you have a DVD player. Otherwise, watch it on YouTube. You are not allowed to torrent the film, and you will have to give me a proof of viewing of the film, and I'll tell you about how to do that later. Save your receipts, okay? Now, if you have a friend or you happen to have a copy of this film, that's okay too. I'll show you how to deal with that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think I've gone on quite long enough about this set of assignments, so we will see you online.